This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Virginia McConnell.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you in need of a one-stop shop wedding stop? One might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Nailah John, with the One Stop Wedding Shop. How are you, Nailah?
Hey, Virginia. Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you. We're excited to learn about you and your business. Can you tell us about your company?
Yeah, sure. So I used to live in Maryland before. I'm actually Canadian, moved here about 4 years ago, and I love Florida. But when we moved, I recognized that there was this great need for a complete, seamless, one-stop shop. And we have over 100 vendors that sit under our business and growing. We vet and we interview every single vendor. They're licensed, insured. They sign a code of ethics, and we guarantee the service to the client. So if you're going to have a wedding, an event, a birthday party, whatever you want to have, we're the complete one stop, and we make sure we guarantee. So no scamming, no not showing up. We're always there.
Yes, awesome. And that's good to know that you don't just do weddings. So that's really, really good. Awesome. How did you get into this business?
So when I moved here, Virginia, actually it was my husband's birthday, and I wanted to hire a chef to come into our house, like a personal chef that can come into our house and cook us a nice meal versus just going out for dinner, which is, the typical. And so I
Right.
kind of wanted to do something outside of the box. And I remember I called 13 chefs, and guess how many people responded to me? Zero.
Oh man.
So I thought, oh goodness, there is this great need. And then I started to see on social media where a lot of people, a lot of clients, unfortunately, were being scammed, and also vendors. So I actually have a legal background. I used to work in Washington, D.C. in food policy and education policy. So I brought that expertise to the one stop. And, that's why we vet and interview everyone, because we don't want to see clients being scammed anymore or saying, hi, where's our makeup? Or hairstylist, they've canceled on me. That doesn't happen with the one stop.
Mm.
So I created it because I saw this need both from the client side and the vendor side. So we also protect our vendors. Our vendors get paid. You hear a lot of vendors where they would go out to do a job and then they're not paid for it. So that doesn't happen with us. So we're here to protect that vendor and also to protect the client and make it just seamless for everyone.
Oh, that's awesome. And what are some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
Um, I think some people think that you need like, I don't know, $100,000 to have a wedding or something, but it isn't, we actually have the most reasonable prices in town, and we help everyone. So if you came and said, hey, Nyla, I have a $5,000 budget, or I have a $100,000 budget, we're here to help you. We don't turn anyone away. And I think a lot of people get scared of when they hear of, maybe a planner or someone who has something like I do. Like we do have planners under our business, we do have coordinators under the one stop, but we really make everyone feel special regardless of their budget. So, and as I said, we have the best prices in town, so no one can beat them. And we've just been able to sort of dominate over the last 2.5 years.
Oh, that's wonderful. And we know marketing is a heart of every business. Who are your target customers and how do you attract them?
Right. Of course, our target customers are here in Florida. Usually, we have a lot of clients here in the Sarasota, Bradenton, Tampa area, but we've actually expanded out into Central Florida, and now we're getting business in Palm Beach and Fort Lauderdale. So we're really moving. We have vendors across, but of course, our targets are people who are getting married, so engaged couples. We also do engagement sessions, photos. We do the whole 9 yards. But
Oh,
couples that are engaged, also parents, because we do birthday parties, and people in the business realm. So we do corporate events. We do everything. So we seem to. I don't think we have. I mean, maybe I would say maybe our top three would be parents, um, you know, businesses, other businesses, and then engaged couple. But
Okay.
we have everything. Like if you said, "Hey, Nyla, I'm having a birthday and I want a birthday cake," we'll be like, "Sure, we can make it for you."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You really are like the one stop.
We really are the one stop. Yeah. But we have everything. We even have spas under our business. We have a whole stack of stuff. We've really, when we first started, there was only 13 of us, and now we have over 100 and growing.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
So actually, we've actually thought about that. I think it'd be a podcast that everyone would listen to, because we have a lot of stories, some great stories. And so, when you approached me, Virginia, I was so thankful because I really admire podcasters, and we write a magazine also. So there's a lot of things that we do under the one stop. So it's something maybe in our long run that we plan to do because we're also actually this year or hopefully early next year, we're planning to launch our it's called the Love Mosaic. Well, we'll be matching singles, but we take the same process that we're going to be that we take in the one stop. So we'll vet, interview, have the single sign a code of ethics, criminal background check, and be interviewed by a panel. And then we'll have 3 tiers of that single, and every single has to be counseled. So if you want to be matched, we will be launching the Love Mosaic. We do have our landing page. So if you go onto there, it's www.lovemosaic.com, and you can put your information in if you're single looking for a life partner.
Oh, I love it. Okay, Nyla. Please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about the one stop wedding shop.
So one thing that they should remember is that we're huge on our ethics. So we're big on ethics, and we're huge on that guaranteed service. And so this is something that we don't, it's unfortunate that a lot of people you hear a lot of businesses or people that would have, you know, um, hired a business, and there isn't that ethical component. So one of our biggest words is ethics and family. We are a huge
Hmm.
family.
Hmm.
And we treat
Okay.
our clients like family too. We actually become friends. I've been to many weddings. We get invited to the weddings as guests. So it's just a
Oh.
wonderful experience. Um, as I said before, I used to work in Washington. I used to work for government actually at one point, but I used to work in Washington, D.C. in policy. And this world is so different in comparison to, what we've written. Every time we write our magazine, we put a nonprofit in there for free. So I'm huge on giving back to the community. All of our vendors, they're phenomenal. We always give back to the community. I have 2 nonprofits of my own. It benefits a tiny island in the Caribbean called St. Vincent and the Grenadines, where my husband and father are from. I'm originally Canadian, but we help victims of domestic violence and children who are unfortunately abused. And we're in the inception stages of building a women's shelter there. The nonprofits is registered here in the United States, and we have actually helped people here too. So we're huge. I that's why I take the interviewing and vetting process with all of my vendors because they have to fit into what we're doing. And I'm a huge humanitarian.
Yeah, and can you just repeat the name of those organizations
Yeah.
one
S-
time?
s- So the name of the nonprofit is called Rise Hiruna.
Okay,
Yes.
awesome. That's incredible. I love that you're giving back and keep doing what you're doing. We
Yeah,
love it.
yeah.
We
I
love
always
it.
tell women, I always tell people in general that you need to have purpose in life. It's very, very important. Yes, we exchange money, but for me, it's more than that. I always tell people when a client hires us, you are hiring, um, you know, I would say 90% of my one stop are women. We do have men in our one stop. They're phenomenal. We love them. But 90% of the vendors are women, and they're small business owners. They feed their families, they pay their mortgage, they pay their rent, their car note, they look after their kids. And so I always tell people when you hire us, your money goes somewhere good.
Yeah, and that says a lot. So,
Yes.
and how can our listeners learn more about the One Stop Wedding Shop?
Yeah, so we're on social media. So our social media on Facebook and Instagram, it's actually Sarasota One Stop Wedding Shop. We had to put the Sarasota on it because there was another company in Australia that was just One Stop Wedding Shop. But legally, we are One Stop Wedding Shop here in Florida. And so those are our social medias. And then we have our website. It's www.onestopweddingshop.us. So that you can find us there.
Okay, perfect. Well, Nailah, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your company the best moving forward.
Yeah, Virginia, thank you so much. And thanks for doing this wonderful podcast, Good Neighbor podcast. I love it. And maybe I'll send some of my vendors your way.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpsarasota.com. That's gnpsarasota.com or call 941-949-1865.